So joining me now with more is Major Marcus Jugenheimer, COO of the Salvation Army, Greater New York Division. Thank you so much for joining. We're so happy to have you at the Stock Exchange.
Thank you for having us.
What does this season mean to you?
The Christmas at the Salvation Army is a busy season of serving our neighbors in need, and also a busy season of resourcing the Salvation Army's mission and ministry throughout the upcoming year. So it really has a lot to do with our red kettles that are out across the country on streets here in New York City, in front of shopping centers, in the public transportation system. And it's a great way to support the Salvation Army as we support our neighbors in need.
When people, of course, donate during this particular season, how do you see that money go to good use?
I like to say when people put money in the kettle, they should expect change. We're not going to give them money back at the kettle, but there's going to be change in the lives of individuals who are coming to the Salvation Army seeking help and hope. And that's why we are there, so that anyone coming in, whether they're food insecure, whether they need housing, the Salvation Army is there to help lift them up in their time of need.
And talk to me more for our viewers, of course, New Yorkers, residents, but also tourists who are going to be here in the city this holiday season, where they can find these bells.
If you're walking around the streets of Manhattan, around Rockefeller Center, Fifth Avenue, anywhere that you might be walking, you're going to see that iconic red kettle with the ringing bell, and encourage people to give generously as the need continues to grow each year.
Oftentimes we see one just outside of the Stock Exchange, down here in Lower Manhattan on Wall Street. How long of a fixture has that been there?
The Salvation Army started the bell ringing 133 years ago, and it only took a few years to go from San Francisco, where the first kettle was, across the country. And so this location on Wall Street, certainly over 125 years.
Mm-hmm. You'll be on the podium, I assume, later on, of course, to celebrate the closing bell today. What is your message to our viewers this time of year?
The message: this is a time of giving. We give gifts to our family, to our friends, and we also need to remember those in our communities who are finding the struggle of determining whether to pay the rent, pay the utilities, or put food on the table. And so the need is real.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to give generously to the Salvation Army or to a charity of their choice that is making the difference in the lives of individuals.
What is on tap for the Salvation Army this Thanksgiving holiday tomorrow?
So we start off, of course, with the ringing of the closing bell, and so excited to be part of that once again right here at the New York Stock Exchange. And then tomorrow, during halftime of the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants game in AT&T Stadium, there will be the National Kettle Kickoff, and always an exciting event there with the Dallas Cowboys. And then on Monday evening, for the first time ever, we will be lighting up the Empire State Building in red and white in honor of the Salvation Army kettle effort.
That'll be a big game indeed, and certainly an icon, I think, for the Salvation Army and what you'll be doing for the Empire State Building really across the entire country. Is there anything different this holiday season that you can tell us about?
Well, I think with the kettle effort, there are new opportunities for digital giving, whether it's a tap to pay, just ways to support the mission here in New York City. We provided over 9.8 million meals this past year, over 200,000 nights of shelter, and the new, I guess, is just the reality that with inflation, with so many things impacting our city and communities across the country, the need for the Salvation Army services continues to grow, and the need for the support of our generous donors as well.
It's so true. We are so happy and honored to have you here at the Stock Exchange, of course, to kick off this holiday season. That's Major Marcus Jugenheimer, COO of the Salvation Army for the Greater New York Division. Have a wonderful closing bell.
Thank you. You as well.